Hello everybody, welcome to UKPM Survival and Outdoors here on YouTube, and in this latest UKPrepperman video we are going to be talking about money and will there be a financial crisis? Stay tuned. Hello, and yes, in this video we are talking about money and will there be a financial crisis. Apologies, I have brought my cup of tea with me for this video because it's been a tough day and I think everybody needs a cup of tea, alright? Talking about a tough day, I feel sorry for those people who are trying to balance the old shares and everything in the city. What a day was that? Something, as we're on the 9th of March, right, 2020, they had probably the worst trading day since the financial crisis. Something like £125 billion wiped off UK stocks. That's a colossal amount of money. And it all stems from, issues with price wars on oil. I know that it was reported that two big petroleum companies, well-known petroleum companies, dropped by 15%. Not good. And things like pensions as well. Anybody who has a pension is probably being impacted slightly, whether or not you'll see it. It's one of those things, isn't it, where the money gets taken off you. You pay into a pension scheme and you hope it's going to come good in the end, but in truth that's all invested. Get some advice, you maybe want to think about what to do about your pensions and things like that. So, and same with investments. Some people say, now's a good time to pull stocks out. Other people say, well, if you buy in now and it goes up, then you're better off. It's a lottery. It's an absolute lottery. In fact, the only thing for certain was that gold actually went up. Gold went up to a 7-year high. So, if you're going to invest in something, maybe gold is the option. But obviously, it's going to be costing you quite a lot of money. And, really that's what this video in part, okay, is about, money. Because we all know the recent events at the moment, okay, 320 cases, it's going up. People have been prompted to self-quarantine, and I was going to say 14 days, but just before I came on to the video, I noticed that they're now talking about a 7-day quarantine for people with even mild symptoms. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in the type of employment that pays you sort of 6 months full pay, then this video, you might as well switch off now because it won't affect you, okay? But this video is for people who maybe work for smaller companies or private companies who won't get sick pay, okay? They won't get their full wage if they are off from work, okay? They'll have what is called, or be entitled to, what is called statutory sick pay, or SSP, right? And basically to claim SSP, which you normally claim through your employer, or if you're out of work you claim through the government. Excuse me. It's about £95 that you get per week, okay, which isn't much. It's not much to live off if that's you're used to more than that, okay. So times are hard at the moment, and you'll be squeezed even more if you have to put that claim in, all right. Also, you have a waiting day period. You have 3 waiting days currently before you actually qualify for SSP, right? So, if you're off 7 days, you won't get paid for 1, 2, 3 days. You'll only get paid for the balance, okay? And they aren't about, bringing that forward for certain people, so they get paid from day 1 because of the ongoing events. But whatever they do, and I don't think that's even gone through yet, it's not going to help people who are in what's called the gig economy. And by that I mean the people who are working for certain well-known delivery companies. Normally you see them riding around, on bikes with boxes on the back, delivering things. Independent couriers, self-employed taxi drivers, self-employed van drivers. All those people, the key, self-employed, okay, contract workers, independent contractors, temporary workers as well, who work on an assignment by assignment basis. All those people will probably be the worst affected, okay. And I would say that self-employed people, some of the van companies say that under the terms of a contract or agreement, if they are unable to work, they are supposed to get a substitute driver to cover their run. I mean, that's putting more and more pressure on people, and I suppose there's probably penalties if they can't do that. So yeah, a bit of a concern all round, I think. And just looking in terms of how much the cost is of living, when you consider that people possibly now are going out and actually spending more money, this thing with the stockpiling, dare I say it, I mentioned it on a video I did back in December 2018, 9th of December 2018. I did the video about food preparation, no panic buying and all the rest of it. And I think we can all agree it is starting to spiral out of control. It has now reached the stage where people are going into shops, and before they even get into a shop, there's notice on the door saying, we are out of hand sanitizer, we haven't got this, we haven't got that. They've done the sort of the rationing, maximum of 2, packets of this. This has then been extended to some of the essentials in the supermarkets. Supermarkets now are saying that you can't buy, a certain quantity of product, and I think that's things like pasta and rice. Try and make whatever you're buying be suitable, okay? Don't, as I say, panic buy and stock up on, frozen, what we call ready meals, these sort of things where you pay £1, £2 to get one meal. Try and get where you can. You may not get the cheap stuff anymore. The cheap rice will probably be out. You'll probably have to pay more. Same with the pasta. You'll probably have to buy, pay more for that. But rice, pasta, that sort of thing, good staples, very adaptable. I was thinking I'll probably do a video actually about cheap meals and that sort of thing. Watch this space with that one. It was mentioned, are we on the verge of another financial crisis? Everything sort of knocks on to the next thing. Every action has a reaction, all right? And so that's where things can actually go. That's really difficult to plot because it depends on your industry that you're actually in. And I think there will be industries that are going to struggle, and there will be occasions where maybe there have to be cutbacks. Now, to what level that is, only time will tell. So I think now is the time really, as I say, only advice I can really give is possibly cut back on non-essential items, so things that you just really think to yourself, I don't really need that thing, but I'll buy it because I want it. Maybe cut back on stuff like that. I have, okay, and I think it's very similar for a lot of people who are are families. All you dads out there will know that you want to provide, you want to do well for your families, you want to do well for your children, and it is having that sort of balance because you want to remain solvent, and it's very, very tough for a lot of people. Okay, so it's having that sort of that mindset over, where am I going to spend this money? What am I going to do? How much am I going to keep back? And whether or not it's £1 or £10 or £100, just keeping something back, a little bit of money there to save, because don't know what's around the next corner. Even if we get through, one stage, you've got another stage and another stage to go through. So, that's just that sort of thing in mind. So, is it going to come to the point where there's a bank that goes under like it did years ago? There was a bank called Northern Rock. They announced they were in financial difficulties, and what happened? Everyone piled down, withdrew money out. It was literally people queuing out the doors, out the cash points. Will that happen, again? We don't know, do we? Is it worth keeping, a float of cash, some cash? Obviously, then there's a security issue. You've got to be mindful of that. In the world, we've become very cashless. Everyone's used to using, the debit cards, credit cards. You can pay for things using your watch and your phone, and it's all technology, isn't it? And if there's a problem, are we too reliant on it? Is it going to be a case where, it's going to be cash and that's it? Do you have that cash there ready? Another thing to consider. So anyway, I'm rambling on, all right? But wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I think it's just to be mindful of what is going on, because I know people, are all in the same boat at the moment, all right? And it's just take a bit of time to step back, have a look, and think on where you're going, where you're planning, what you're planning for, all right? And it looks very much like it's going to be a case of it's going to be some tough times ahead, folks. So, I guess this is where I say, keep an eye on my Instagram, because I do try and post updates where I can. Links up there. And of course, any videos that you like on this channel, some of them are on the side here, you know, so take a look, you know, and hope it gives you some inspiration. If you have enjoyed the video, you know, please like, share and subscribe, and any comments, of course, love to hear them. Until next time, take care, thanks for watching, bye for now.